T. Gray and MK, you are now cleared for flight school takeoff.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
We want to create a culture here at Ibüümerang where people build a real business, okay? There's a pandemic in our industry, right? And it goes back for decades where all people do is they just build this recruiting machines, right? And this is why so few people make money, because only the people who have been strong recruiters have been the people who are able to succeed, and the people who are not strong recruiters don't. But that's because there hasn't been a real, true customer acquisition opportunity in the industry. There's been very few, I should say, very, very few. And what we have here at Ibüümerang is a really strong opportunity to build a customer-driven business, okay? Which is what real businesses are made of. So we want to talk today, we want to have a serious conversation with you guys about building a real business. We go to the next slide. What is a trait of successful businesses? Before we go to the next slide, I want to see if you guys can guess it in the chat.
Yep. Dr. Latrice already guessed it.
She's already guessed it. Successful businesses have finished the
chapstick.
Yeah. Successful businesses have, what's the next word? Let's see it. I want to see Facebook too. Successful businesses. Oh, you weren't supposed to go yet, man.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Successful businesses have customers. And like Pat Delaveau said on Facebook, lots of customers. I didn't see anybody put on here repeat customers. Right? Kelly Bain said consistent sales. Very good, Kelly. That's good, right? Andy Varela, recurring customers, right? Success, that's what successful businesses have. I'll give you an example. Let's go to the next one. Give you an example. You're buying apartment buildings, right? 2 equal apartment buildings to choose from. One is 25% occupied, which means that they have 25% of the customers that they could have. B is 95% occupied. It's got a lot more customers than A. Which business is the better business? Which apartment building is the better business? B, right? It just makes sense, right? It's like so freaking obvious, right? Okay, let's go to the next one.
Dr. Latrice says B has bricks.
Yeah, exactly, right? And the brick in this case is a rented apartment. Okay, let's take another type of business. This is a print shop. Okay, print shop A has 150 regular customers who are printing menus, signs, pamphlets, agendas, whatever, right? Print shop B has 1,000 regular customers. Which one would you buy? Which one's the better business, right? Everybody again, B, right? Choice B. Why? It's obvious. It doesn't take rocket science. This applies to your business as well. Mark, you got any commentary on this?
No, sir. Yeah. But you know what? The last time you asked, you said there was a dry cleaners.
Right.
And one dry cleaner has 50 customers and the other dry cleaners has 500 customers. And somebody said, what did David Romero say?
Which one has the cleaner shirts? Which is exactly the reason why that is not in this deck. I didn't want to give him the opportunity to say it again.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. All right.
Mary Renfro with the advanced business concepts. We're not going to get into that, Mary. All right. So guess who has this philosophy and who's had this philosophy for eons? Your leader, Holton Buggs. All right. He was on the cover of the February 2014 issue of Networking Times, sorry. What's the cover story? Lead with customers. Lead with customers. Why? More customers gives you a higher value business, right? That's right, Daniel. The GOAT. This is his philosophy. Customers, customers, customers. Now, on this next slide, I'm going to show you, and we're going to read an excerpt from that article. And it's super powerful. It's super powerful, right? So let's go to that next one. And it says, and I read, Holton says, one day I was on the beach in the Florida Keys with a friend who was a company CEO. He pointed to a gorgeous home owned by a top earning network marketer. I asked him who it was, and he told me it was Jeff Roberti. I've met Jeff Roberti. He's a great guy. I had heard the name before, but I didn't know him. So I asked, how many people does Jeff have in his organization? That question is really important because that question is like the typical networker question, because networkers judge the success of their business by how many recruits they have, how many team members they have, right? But this next part is the part that's truly the deal. You guys ready? He said, Jeff probably doesn't even know, but he has hundreds of thousands of customers on auto ship throughout the world. And that's why he's doing so well. Hundreds of thousands of customers on auto ship. Hundreds of thousands of customers buying every month around the world. Holton continues, that's when I decided I wanted that story for myself. Most networkers around the world, including myself at the time, stand up in front of audiences and talk about freedom. We discuss financial independence, but I would venture to say that very few, less than 5% of the top earners have the freedom we speak of. In reality, most of us have high-paying nighttime jobs because our income has never been based on true customers. I didn't want to be the eternal recruiting machine that had to continually reinvent itself to recruit in different ways because we had already exhausted our options. That's what I had seen most companies do. I wanted a product, a program that wasn't so recruiting intensive, but instead was product intensive. Let it sink in. Let it marinate. Let it percolate deep down into your soul. Because I know for many of you who come from traditional network marketing, other companies, and this is your first Holton experience, you come from recruiting machines. And if you were successful, it's probably because you were a recruiting machine. Okay? And we're not downplaying recruiting. Recruiting has a purpose. The purpose of recruiting is so you can get more customers. Jeff Roberti didn't get hundreds of thousands of customers on auto ship throughout the world by himself. He didn't do it by himself. He did not do it by himself. He did it by building a big team and teaching those people to not just recruit more people, but to get customers. Because customers who buy every month are what make a business valuable and what will make you incredibly profitable. Mark and I, we tell you the same thing every week. We don't have any original material. We're reading from Holt and Bugs right now. Okay? So folks, I'm here to tell you, that's what we want to help you build at Ibüümerang. Ibüümerang is not a recruiting mill. Our goal is to help people in Ibüümerang build a customer base that makes them hundreds of dollars a month, thousands of dollars a month, tens of thousands of dollars a month, even hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars a month for those who get it. And this is so important because Mark, I talked to some folks and they still didn't get it. They're like, I don't get the customer thing. I don't get the customer thing. But that's the same person who's going to go to the supermarket and buy a loaf of bread and a container of milk as a customer.
Yes.
Right? Because customers are what make the world go round.
Nice. And you know what? This is why the brick concept is so important. You're going to get your 300 PQV, you're going to get your one on your left and one on your right, and then you're going to get 10 Elevate customers. And if you can replicate that throughout your organization, you will win.
Yep.
Cool.
That's it. That's that. You heard it. If you can get this in your head and you can replicate this concept throughout your organization, like Mark said, you will win. That's how you can win. All right. So that begs the question, how to get more customers. We got two answers for it. We got an A answer and we have a B answer. How to get Dr. Latrice, very good. Sometimes customers need to stay customers. She said she learned from Holton in a previous business, do not make a good customer a bad ambassador. Right? Sometimes some customers you need to stay where they're at, right? Everybody can't, when you go to the supermarket, they don't try to recruit you to be an owner or work at the supermarket. They want to keep customers, right? They want to keep you as a customer, okay? All right, so how to get more customers? A, here we go. Anybody see this movie, Glenn Ross? It's an iconic sales movie. Glenn Ross, okay? And in this movie, it comes the famous sales quote, ABC, always be closing, right? Or in the Ibüümerang instance, always be sharing. If you're always sharing the products, if you're always sharing the opportunity, you will have no shortage of customers. No shortage of customers.
You know who's doing a very, 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 very good job of this? Sandy Harris.
Sandy Harris. He's on the next slide.
Harris.
He's on the next slide.
He is out there every time.
Yep, there he is.
Lots of presentations, lots of exposures. And then when people say no to the opportunity, get them as a customer.
Mm-hmm. So this is a update that Sandy sent us recently. Did a meeting in New Zealand. And what were the results of the meeting? 5 new ambassadors and 5 new customers. So 10 individuals said yes. 5 said yes to the business. 5 said yes to being a customer. Okay. That's what your outcomes should look like. I remember he sent us one that said, results from last night, 3 new customers. Great.
And that was with only 3 people in the room.
Yeah. Nobody wanted to join the business. That's okay. They wanted to learn how to trade. So they signed up for Elevate. That's wonderful. Right. because that's how we're going to measure success. How many subscriptions do you have? Right? Remember, what is the purpose of a new ambassador? Before we go to the next slide, what is the purpose of a new ambassador? Let's see that in the chat. I want to see what you guys say. What is the purpose of a new ambassador? I'm seeing a lot of great partial answers. I want you guys to think about it. Think about it for 2 seconds, and then put your answer in the chat. What is the purpose of a new ambassador in your organization? Thank you. First person I see to get it right completely is Diamond Alte. Diamond Alte Errol. That's right. So here's what he said. Here's what he said. Let me scroll back to his comment. He said to get more customers and to get more ambassadors. That's it, right? You're working to expand your customer base. So that person needs to get customers, and that person needs to expand the team so that we have more people to get more customers, to get more ambassadors, right? If you have people on your team who are only doing one, they're not serving their purpose.
Also, Daniel, be a brick, stay a brick, build a brick. That's good too.
Yeah. But so anybody on your team who's not getting customers is taking up space. Anybody on your team who's not getting more customer getters is taking up space. And the most valuable people on your team are the people who are doing both. This is why in the businesses that I've built, never, ever, ever did I have people put in fake people. That's the deadest of dead weight. That's hollow. That's a waste of time, space. It's a waste of a slot on my screen when I'm going down my organization. That if that's you, if that's been your practice, don't do that. That's a waste of time. Real people only, right? And I don't want people in my business who are not going to get customers and who are not going to recruit. I don't want it. I'm not interested. Because when I'm building to build a dominant organization. I'm working to build an empire. I'm working to build a big check every single month, not just for myself, but for lots of people around me. That's my mentality when I'm building. And I know what it takes to build a big check that's going to happen every month. And I don't want to be a slave to that check, right? If you build a big check through recruiting, you're a slave to that check, because guess what? No recruiting, no check. And there are going to be seasons of no recruiting, or low recruiting, I should say. But when you have a big, strong customer base that is buying every month, then your check becomes consistent. Okay, so that's how to get more customers. Lots of presentations, lots of exposures, and remember that when people say no to the business, get them as a customer. That's it. That should just be your flow. If they say no to the business, your feelings should not be hurt, because you're sifting and sorting. Please put that in your notes. Sifting and sorting. Let's take slide down for 1 second. If we get sifting and sorting, I'm gonna tell you one of my favorite analogies, but it's not mine. I stole it from Holton. Okay, your job is to sift and sort, not to convince. You're not trying to convince a person to do anything, you're looking for the ones who are looking, okay? And so just think of it for a second. Imagine we sit you in a room and we bring you this big giant bowl, and in the bowl is a mix of red beans and white beans. In the bowl, red beans and white beans. They're all mixed together, right? And you're sitting in the middle of the floor, you got this big bowl, red beans and white beans. And they say to you, if you can separate the red beans from the white beans in 60 seconds, you get $1 million. Time starts now. What does it look like? What does your activity look like? I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like this. Red bean, white bean, white bean, red bean, red bean, white bean, red bean, white bean, red bean, red bean, red bean, red bean, red bean, white bean, white bean, white bean, white bean, red bean, red bean, red bean, white bean, red bean, white bean. That's what it looks like. It doesn't look like this. Oh man, red bean, I really wanted you to be a white bean. How come you're not a white bean? Don't you want to be a white bean? Like, are you going to waste any time with that? No, you're just going to be like, red beans, white beans over here, white beans over here, red bean, white bean. You're trying to get the $1 million. You don't care about which beans are red. You don't care about which beans are white. You just want to separate them. You just want to find the red beans and the white beans and get them in their right pile in 60 seconds so you can get your $1 million. Okay. So then they take you and they lock you in a room. And they throw in a giant key ring. It's full of keys, all sorts of different keys, okay? And only one key opens the lock to get you out the door. And if you can get it done in 60 seconds, what do you get? What do you get? $1 million. You get $1 million. And time starts now. What does your activity look like? You're taking the key. Not that one. Okay. 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 At any point in time, do you grab a key and you're like, oh man, you're such a shiny, nice little key. I really was hoping that you would be the one that could open the lock and open the door so I could get my $1 million. Are you gonna waste time talking to the keys? The key didn't open the lock. You go to the next key. So when you're doing your presentations and you're talking to people, you just want to find out who they are. Are you a builder? Are you a customer? Are you somebody who's going to give me some referrals? Who are you? That's what you're trying to find, right? So you don't have a vested interest in the outcome, except that you get to finality. In, out, or referral, right? In, out, or custom, right? So that's why Sandy's doing so well right now, because he's doing these meetings. And at the end, they sift and they sort the people. Who's a business partner? Great. Who's a customer? Great. Right? That's how to get customers, how to get more customers, A. Never forget that story. I never will. I remember I saw Hilton on stage doing that, and it resonated deep down into my soul. All right, bro, let's go to the next slide. Unless you got something you want to add to that.
Sir, you got it.
All right, cool. Now, how to get more customers, B. Build a large sales team. This is now recruiting with a purpose, right? Because remember, we asked the question before, what is the purpose of a new ambassador? What is the purpose of a new recruit, right? Remember what you're building. You're building a what? 2 words. It's on the screen. You're building a what? Thank you, Bonnie. You're building a what? There we go. Come on, Facebook. We're building a what? Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Building what? There we go, Nico. Yes, Pat, that's what I'm talking about. You're building. Eva, that's where that word is not on the screen. Girl, PDDG, I knew you would like this one. We will send you this ASAP. I know you will kill this. All right. So you're building a sales team. And what does a sales team do? I promise you, this is a trick question. No, it's not. It's not a trick question. What does a sales team do? They sell. What does your sales team sell? What does your sales team sell? Your sales team, the one that you're building right now. What does your sales team sell? Good one, David. What does your sales team sell? No, it does not sell freedom, Andy. It doesn't. This is where people get themselves in trouble. Financial freedom. You'll never have to work again. What does your sales team sell? No. What does your sales team sell? Seeing lots of good answers. Yep, your sales team sells. See, nobody's putting it all together yet. You see that, Mark, in the chats?
Yep.
Everybody's got part of the answer. If you look at other people's answers, and I'll put them all together. There you go. Opportunity, elevate, IGO. This is what your products, your sales team sells. Okay. So now let's dig into this a little bit. Let's dig into this. Okay. Watch this. This is going to mess you up. You guys are going to love this. So the first thing you need to do is get your location working properly. Now I want you to think of it as you're a franchise restaurant, like a McDonald's, you know, or Burger King, right? Or donut shop. Okay. First job before you open up another one is get yours working properly, right? Let's get yours working properly. Now, when yours is working properly, what does it look like? Everybody wanted to say brick before. Now's a good time to say brick. Right? When yours is working properly, you are a brick. When your location is working properly, you are a brick. How many of you never thought of yourself as a location before? But you are, right? You're a center, you're a business center, you're a location. Get yours working properly. You've got 10 regular customers. Minimum, you have 10, which means your business is generating $300 in retail bonuses every month. Now, your business has its own expense, your subscriptions, your IGO and your Elevate subscription. So you're doing it with the Star Achiever, $249.99 a month. So that means that your business is bringing in more money than it's spending. So you're making a profit of $50 a month. Whoa. People don't talk like this in network marketing. We do. Right? David Romero, your profit center has now created a solid brick. Okay. So now you have your center, your location working properly. What happens next? Well, let's go to the next slide. You teach some other people how to do the same thing. Okay. So now you develop 5 more. You've got 5 personal recruits, 5 ambassadors that you have personally enrolled. And what do you teach them? You teach them how to do what you did. Deep, right? Like crazy profound. That's like you climb to the top of the mountain.
And what are you now?
Well, you're a superstar achiever.
Yes.
Right? But
I was asking
you're happy.
I was asking the folks.
You were asking the people? I owed you one. I owed you a blown answer. Right? But could you imagine you climb to the top of the mountain, Mark, to see the wise man? And you're climbing for days, you pack the lunch, the whole nine, and you get up there and you're like, oh, wise man, what do I need to teach the people? And the wise man goes, strokes his long beard and says, you should teach the people how to do what you did. Right, but that's what you do. You do it, and then you teach the people how to do what you did, okay? So now you got these 5 people. They've got 10 customers too. What does this look like? 60 customers. 72 subscriptions, including you and your 5. Whoa, you like this math. Wait a minute. Remember, the 5 of you have 2 subscriptions. You have an iGo subscription and an Elevate subscription. Okay, so this is 72 subscriptions right there, including you and your 5 people. This is paying you $300 a month in retail bonuses, $525 a month in subscription override. So $825 a month, almost $10,000 a year, additional money coming into your house. How many of you would like a $10,000 check right now? How many of you would like a $10,000 check right now? This is how you create one. This is it right here. You know what? I remember when Presidential Diamond, Darren Gibson, and I were on the phone with Blue Diamond, Jake Parton, and he went crazy over this because he said, I can track this. This is quantifiable. I can track this. I can track my progress. This is easy. How many of you guys are seeing the same thing? Right? So that's what this is. Okay, well, let's see what happens when this duplicates. Yes. Now, you're just teaching your folks to be bricks. They're not even as good as you. They don't get 5, they only get 2. But we're teaching bricks. So as all these folks become bricks, what happens? Well, now you have 160 customers. True customers, 160 customers, 160 people that are using Elevate that are not ambassadors. There's 192 subscriptions represented on the page now when we add in the subscriptions from you and your team. Because remember, everybody in your team has 2 subscriptions. The customers only have 1 paid subscription. What does this look like in terms of money? Well, you're still earning your $300 in retail bonuses from your 10 customers. But now you're earning $1,575 a month in subscription overrides. So this is $1,875 a month, almost $2,000 a month, which, by the way, is way above, several orders of magnitude above the industry average of what people make in network marketing. And it's an extra almost $23,000 a year in your house. How many of you like this concept? I like what Andy said in the chat here. He said, we've been making it too hard. Yup. You have been making it too hard. You have. And the people who've been slow to adopt the brick concept, who didn't just drop everything and go become a brick, this is what you are keeping yourself from. This is why the disclaimer says it's going to be based on the individuals. Yeah. Because some are going to be lightning fast, like your Jake Partons and your Sandy Harrises and your Jackie and Jayla's, to say, brick, I got it, I'm doing it, let's go. And some of you guys are like, okay, well, I'll get around to it. Been hearing this since December 17, 2022, and still don't have 10 customers. This is what you are keeping yourself from because you don't deserve this until you do. Can you go back 2 slides? This. You don't deserve the next 2 slides until you do this. Because what does life give you? Does life give you what you want? What does life give you? Thank you, Dr. Latrice. Life gives you what you deserve. Remember, I told you Holton taught me that almost day one. Life does not give you what you want. Life gives you what you deserve. I don't have a 6-pack like Mark yet because honestly, I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. You know, it's a sliding scale. I deserve to have lost 45 pounds, but I don't deserve 6-pack yet. Because I'm still not that disciplined. I'm not as disciplined as I could be. I skip workouts. I eat bad food sometimes. And I'm going to say that many of you don't deserve to be making the money that you would like to make because you haven't done the activities. Go back 2 slides again, sir. This is how you deserve it. Why is Blue Diamond Jake Parton always popping a new brick in the diamond chat? Because he's a brick. The first person on his team to become a brick was Jake Parton. And then he turned around and said, now I'm making bricks. And he can make bricks with confidence because you know he's a brick. I did it, so you can do it. I'm really hoping we can reach some people today. Because when you collectively engage this and say, you know what, let me just get this thing done. I'm gonna be a brick. Your life's gonna change. You put that energy in the business, in the universe, that's what you're gonna attract who you are. Right now, many of you are attracting exactly who you are. You're attracting people who make excuses, who take exception, and who take forever to do simple things. That's you, and that's who you're attracting. Diamond Sandy Harris is attracting bricks. Why? He's a brick. He's attracting people who are ready to go to war. Why? Because he's a brick. You attract who you are. People get on your wavelength. Why does presidential diamond Darren Gibson have so many diamonds in his business? Because you attract who you are. He's a go-getter, and he's attracting go-getters. Why is Xander driving 12 hours to go meet with Black Diamond Desi Lipova? Because she's attracting who she is. People who don't see obstacles, but who keep their eye on the prize. So this is where you start to deserve it, and you change the trajectory of your life and the culture of your business. Okay, so guess what? I want to show you one more thing. If we can go 3 slides up, then the slide after the big slide. I can't even calculate this. I stopped trying, but come on. You guys know this is a lot of money on this screen right here, right? And what is the ratio of customers to ambassadors here? What is the ratio of customers to ambassadors on this screen? 10-1. That means there are 10 times as many customers as ambassadors. That means that if there are 10 ambassadors, there's 100 customers. Who would buy this business? This is a good business. This is a real business. This is not just some recruiting thing. This is a business where people come in, everybody on this, guess what everybody on this screen has in common? Each one makes at least $300 a month. That's right, Kevin. Every green person on this team, on this page, is in profit. How does this happen? How does this happen? Let me tell you how it happens. You ready to write this in your notes? For the 1000th time, success is never by accident. It is always by design. Success is never by accident. It is always by design. This business that you're looking at here was created intentionally. Intentionally by someone like Jackie and Jayla Pippin's Blue Diamonds. Intentionally by someone like Vasil Kranov, who's out there now on the brick building hunt. This is what Diamond Vasil is working to make right now. This is what he has set out to build. And he's going to do it. He is absolutely going to do it. And if you continue to grow your team with a purpose, this just gets bigger. Emerald Luana Broughton actually just counted. She said there's 75 bricks on here. That means there are 750 customers on here. The math is easy. You guys can go ahead and do the math, but it's crazy. It's crazy. Mark, you got anything?
Yeah, I've got something. I just want to give a big shout out to Jake Parton, Sandy Harris, anybody who is building bricks and sharing the plan, right? Sharing the plan is where it's at, folks. And if you can be a brick, stay a brick, and build bricks, it's over. It's over for you. You can get here. You can do this. That's it.
You know, bro, I like what Pat Delaveau just said in Facebook. He said, on this screen that we're looking at right now, they all go to events for free.
Yes. They all have free membership and they all communicate.
Yep. Could you imagine that? Having a whole team of people that whenever there's an event, you guys just all get to go? We've done the math. We've done the math. If you're producing this type of result every month, it pays for your event ticket. That's why we can give you an event ticket for free. We'd love to have an entire stadium full of people who came to the event for free. And exactly, Jean, and you'd have 75 team members at the event. Oh my God. So
yeah, for free.
For free. So to wrap this up, we gotta hit you between the eyes. You ready? You ready for the next one? You ready? You ready? Here we go. And now. So there's two businesses on the screen. Ambassador A has 0 customers. Ambassador B has 10 or more regular customers. Ambassador C is Emmeline, who's got 35 customers every month. Which one are you? Are you the high value ambassador or the low value ambassador?
Hats off to Eva. I recently got my first customer, the first of many.
Way to go, Eva. Way to get rid of that 0, baby. Now you got 1. And you wanna know what happens? Customers are like Lay's potato chips. You can't eat just one.
You can't eat your customers.
I didn't really mean eat the customer. So only you get to decide which of you are these people. You're right, Pat. 10,000 people needed to see this, but you know what? 10,000 people will, because we are going to drop this slide deck in the diamond chat as soon as we're done, and watch what happens next. All right. So last slide in this deal is this. We want to encourage each and every one of you to build a real business and to build with a purpose. That's our training.